Alright, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome. We are back to Resident Evil, and based on what I found out, I am actually near the end of the game.
Please do take a look at my new
So I think I'm going to try and finish the game today.
Little and often fills the purse, as they say.
So, first thing we're going to do
Do let me know if you find anything else of value.
is I found out how to clear out these red areas that were bugging the ever-loving crap out of me. So, first things first. I hope everybody is doing well today. And voila, just like that, that area is now green. Okay, so now I believe, no, I needed to go to B3. Damn, Duke, you know how to get around, man. Just make your shop in an elevator. Okay, so now I'm gonna go here. And then through here. All the way through here. Need to go through here. Through here. Alright. Back through the area where I fought the fucking jetpack madness. Again, I'm so looking forward to the day Synther gets back to this. Because I know he's going to have a nightmare. Why haven't you gone to bed yet, Mama Strife? Because I know you were tired when I ended last night. And quite honestly, had I realized how close I was to the ending, I may have considered trying to actually finish the game last night. Okay, so now, and this is something that I overlooked last night. So, because I was in panic rush mode, turns out this is what I missed. Because this can be moved. So we take that, go through here. Handgun ammo. gunpowder, and then this, the ball mold. So that clears that out. Alright, so we'll just go ahead and continue running it around, because this will essentially is kind of faster. Couldn't go to sleep, had a video doctor appointment at 1 p.m. I just know what time it is, so I'll be going to bed early tonight. Okay. Alright. Makes sense I can't run on this thing. And then we climb back up. And then we call the elevator back. Alright, so that's half of our backtracking right there. Yeah, that's the shit that I actually missed. Alright, so now we come back through here, go through there, and this brings it back to where we were. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is we call the elevator back. Now we take it down to the B4 level. Duke, why won't you sell me that healing item right there? Oh. It says you're sold out, but I see one clear as day right there. Alright, so now, much to my dismay, I hate this area. Now we gotta go all the way back. Thankfully I've killed all the enemies around here, so well, last time I was through here I did. Alright, and now we use the ball mold. That gets us the Iron Horse Ball. And this room is now green! So now the last little thing we gotta do... So I could say I grabbed everything. And we come in here, and we now have the ball that we can use on this little contraption. Ah, no, fell off. Damn it. That's the one thing I really freaking hate about this, is the fact that if it falls off, you have to start all the way back to the top. And the more complex these things are... No! Shit! And the more complex these things are, it's a lot of time you have to spend trying to get it. Ooh! And voila! Fister Skull. And now that room is done. Hi, Duke.
Welcome. I'm skilled at all sorts of weapons, Master, and will do them for a small fee.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and
I'm
trade
surprised you
that.
part with this so early. Worry not. You can buy it back if you like. You'll be slaughtering things in droves.
Semi-automatic shotgun, huh?
Food is life. Securing goods is more important than anything. Anything, my friend.
Hmm.
To hunger is to be alive. Have a wonderful adventure.
Hmm.
Oh, good. I was just thinking of ways to pass the time. You no longer need this? This is all an investment, even. hands are more dexterous than one might think.
Alright.
He's come again.
Alright. That'll do for now. Alright, so now we go back up to B1 and we can move on. Alright, so all this stuff is green. And out here. Okay. So the area I was not looking forward to. Wait. I missed something. Go back, go back, go back, go back, go back, go back. Aha! Oh, get back down. Alright, that room is good. Alright. So I got about as much as I think I'm gonna be able to get. I have a few healing items, so win. Alright, that'll work. Alright, so now we get to go down here and find out what kind of nightmares wait for me down here. That was it, huh? I expected much more of a nightmare. And down we go. Hey, Rain. Uh-huh. This room's green already, nothing in here. Okay then. Uh-oh. What the actual fuck? How am I supposed to fight that?
Again?
How? I'm trying to do this blind, so I've only looked into things after passing them, and it's only briefly that I look at them. Chris!
I told you to leave it alone, Ethan. You're in the way. What do you care, Chris? You killed my wife, you son of a bitch! You think I killed Mia? That wasn't her.
What?
It was Miranda. What?
What?
She's a bioweapon. She changed her appearance and pretended to be Mia. Seems she also survived being shot, so now I'm here to finish this job. Bullshit! Why'd you fucking tell me right away? Because I knew you would want to be involved. And this job is hard enough without civilians getting in the way. Why us, Chris? What the hell is going on? All right, Ethan. All right. I guess I owe you an explanation. Hand me that wrench. Long story short, Miranda's fucking insane.
No, you don't think.
All these monsters and freaks, this is her life's work. Some sort of crazy experiment with the mold. Like Louisiana. God damn it. All this time, I thought I could save my family. I can't escape from here. I can't do anything. That might not be true. Take a look at this. My men sent those pictures a few minutes ago. Keep looking. Rose. Holy shit, we gotta go! Relax, my men are monitoring the situation. But they have my daughter. You don't get it. You don't stand a chance against Miranda by yourself. I will stay down here and finish planting explosives. You take that elevator, I'll meet you topside. I promise you, we will get your daughter back. Together. Damn straight. And when I find Miranda, she's dead. All right, Ethan. You take this, and do me a favor. Try to stand on the radar.
How the hell do you expect me to stand to the radar with that? So Miranda is Mia? Or Mia was Miranda? I'm so confused. To Hound Wolf Squad, the sweep of the factory is complete. No proof of any connection with the organization. Guess this just wasn't our lucky day. I did manage to get my hands on a number of documents disclosing some of Miranda's experiments which support our previous theories. She seems to have infected herself with the mutamycete, which has granted her a number of abilities, including mimicry. She can control her cells and transform herself to look like anyone or anything. She disguised herself as Mia and infiltrated the Winters' home. Her objective was clearly to kidnap Rose. Maybe she thought she could control Rose easier if she looked like her mom. When we attacked, it put a little damper on her plans, so she mimicked a corpse. She then revived herself in the transport truck, killed everyone on board, and took off with Rose. Things didn't go the way she had originally planned, but in the end she still got what she wanted. Until now. It's time to rendezvous and blow this place sky high. This might turn into a fight with Heisenberg, but I think I found something useful. He left one of his little toys laying around, and it's even made from a metal/polymer composite, which he can't control. Time to turn the tables. Okay, so I guess Miranda has the ability to shapeshift and killed Mia unbeknownst to Ethan and took her place so she could take Rose, but it doesn't explain when she killed Mia and why she wants Rose.
Metal polymer composite. Time to fight fire with fire. I'm coming.
Oh, baby. L2 ready cannon, R2 fire cannon, L1 guard, R2 machine gun. Down, baby, down! Ugh! Hi! Are you done? Grab it, Ethan! Jesus, dude! Oh, Jesus! Crystal Heisenberg. No shit, right?
Ethan? I heard explosions. What the hell happened?
I dealt with Heisenberg. Now I'm gonna find Miranda and get Rose back.
Not without me. It's too dangerous. Wait there, you hear me? Ethan?
Rose?
Ethan! Ethan, respond!
Mia?
Our child. She's so important, isn't she?
She's everything to me.
And mine to me. With Heisenberg gone, you've lost your lead. What are you going to do?
I don't know, but I'm saving Rose.
You never know, do you? Even when I took Mia's place in your home. Poor Ethan.
Who are you? Where's Rose?
Enough. Remember Evelyn and her power over them all? Rose is her successor. No. Rose is Evelyn's true, complete form. She will grow to fully control the process. And I must die.
Fuck you, you crazy bitch!
Calm yourself. Rose will be saved. The Megamycete catalogs all of us. However, she will be reborn as my daughter.
She's my Where are you? Show yourself!
Why did Rose come to be? Was it because of her appearance? And you are truly a special case. But I've learned
She was the old lady too.
your worth as a lab rat has run out.
Miranda! You coward! Come on and face me!
Oh!
Don't. You're dead. You will join the Megamycete's records.
She took out his fucking heart!
Sample your blood for later. Once dawn breaks, the ceremony will be complete, and I will become her true mother, bound for eternity, blast. I've waited so long. But dreams really can come true. Vessel not. I can't wait to see my true child again.
The fuck, mate?
Captain, I've confirmed the death of Ethan Winters. I wasn't able to retrieve the body, but I've recorded evidence.
Share your screen, and I'll go over the situation. My team and I were careless. Yesterday, we took down the transformed Miranda, but we didn't kill her.
Who knew she could fake being a corpse?
Since Miranda could have infected Ethan, I forcefully took him and Rose with us. But the vehicle they were riding in was attacked. When I got to the wreck, Ethan and Rose were gone. The last time I was able to contact Ethan, I heard Miranda's voice. She murdered him, and she is not gonna get away with it. God damn it, when does it end?
What's that, sir? The mission?
All of it. 3 years trying to put this thing in the ground. 3 years too long.
Go get her, Captain. The squad's ready for you.
So BSAA got here already. They didn't waste any time.
Mission adjustment?
No, doesn't change anything. Terminate Miranda and rescue Rose. That's the mission. Failure's not an option.
Let's have some fun, people, like old times.
Move out.
Roger.
K9, I want to know what the hell BSAA is doing here. Find out what you can.
Roger that. I'm on.
Been a while since we fought together, Captain. When was the last? The desert?
Doing nothing but recon's gotten me out of shape.
But thanks to your recon, we know Miranda's plan.
Couldn't quite believe it when I heard she turned herself into Mia, though. Taking 5 shots to the head's nothing to sneeze at either. Spooky.
I don't know. I have no idea what the fuck is going on right now. I just know that apparently Ethan is dead and I'm now playing as Chris.
Hey, Alpha.
BSAA. They've gone too far. Christ.
Looks pretty rough down there. How are you planning on reaching the objective?
First, we're gonna have to take that thing out.
I've got your back, boss. Let's get to work.
Everyone watch for hostile bioweapons.
Roger.
Maptician? Mathematician? Complete the village map.
Make contact with a group of hostile bioweapons.
There's one that we know. Watch it.
Get off of me, damn it! Jesus, Chris. He just fucking punched that thing into oblivion.
Mr. Jones, clear. Moving out.
Roger that.
Some more handgun ammo would be nice.
BSAA craft spotted. 2 yards. I can take it.
Don't get caught.
Where the hell am I? Ah, wait! Oh, we're back at, Louisa's house.
What the hell is that thing? It's all mutilized.
That's probably where Miranda is. Let's go.
What?
Large mutated bioweapon sighted.
Chris, why can't I have your guns?
Hey boss, it's me. I'm at the location preparing for support fire. Might be an unit.
Roger.
Under here, leaving some supplies in one of the houses, Captain. Help yourself.
Ah, the troll shed. What the hell does this thing do? A laser targeting device used to track targets. Targeting must be held until shells drop. Okay. Ah, hello!
Authorize, I need some backup.
I see you. 200 to the point.
I have no idea where I'm going. Okay, I'm basically back right at the beginning. Ah! Motherfucker. There's a frickin' sniper rifle when I need it.
I've never heard of a mutant colony growing so huge.
Fuck you. Ow.
Hey, good eyes.
Get off! God, how many of them are there?
I've reached the target location. Damn, this is big. All right, Lobo. Marking the target.
Roger that, boss. Alright. Reloading now. Just a minute. This is slow-headed and quick.
guys are engaging bioweapons. You're right, Captain, they must be after Big Mike too.
Helena. Everyone okay?
They're coming from the mold.
Looks like it's about to collapse. Hold your horses. I'm reloading. Where should I go next?
Ugh.
Take that!
Big Mike must be.
That was painful. Unbelievably painful. Why the hell did that have to be so painful?
Captain, the Mega Mighty is underground.
I'm on my way.
I'm collecting stuff, man. I need my ammo. I don't know what kind of hell I'm gonna be going into, so y'all can fuck off for a hot minute. Alright.
I found a way down. I'm going in. The rest of you stay back.
Captain, I compared the mold at the village with a sample from the bakers and there's no sign of the genome editing we saw in the E-series. The stuff originated here.
Oh yay, more. Oh hell no, that dude's got a fucking spiked mace. We're gonna take a quick break now. I am so not looking forward to this. Oh.
Guarding the Mega Bison, huh?
Oh!
Lobo, I got a tough guy here. I'm gonna need backup. There's an opening in the roof. Use it! Good. I'll signal with the locator. Awesome!
Just a minute.
I'll keep going. The rest of you, stay above ground.
Jesus!
So if Miranda was the fake Mia, where's the real one?
I doubt she saw any further use for her. I don't get any of this. How did Miranda even know Rose exists?
A moldy little bird told her, maybe?
We can figure that out later. Focus on the plan.
This shit is getting crazy.
I found it. It's the Mega Mice. Alpha to squad. I've located the Mega Mice.
So now we can end this mess after all.
About damn time. N2 explosives armed. There's enough there to blow the whole village sky high.
Let's get out of here and blow the damn place.
Not before I hit Miranda. I'm not taking any more chances. I'm going in.
Roger that. Standing by. Captain, I have eyes on Miranda at the ceremony site.
Keep your distance. Do not move until I give the order.
I know it's too late now, but we really should have told Ethan the plan.
There was a time. We didn't expect Miranda to act so soon.
Even so, you should have told him.
Yeah.
Yeah. poor dude was just trying to fucking have a normal life and you fucking let him get dragged into this shit and die. Way to go, Chris. And this is why people like Leon better than you.
This must be Miranda's lab. So they're using this to control the bioweapons.
Holy shit. Subject name Salvatore Moreau. Kadu affinity low. Brain function surprisingly low. The Kadu has caused drastic changes to the internal organs, transforming them into organs similar to fish-like gills and a swim bladder. Another subject with irregular cell division, causing him to transform into a giant fish. The subject is unable to control this transformation. Too many defects and unfit vessel for Eva. Alcina Dimitrescu. Kadu affinity most favorable. Brain functions normal. Regeneration rate is incredibly fast. The subject can heal any external wounds within seconds and grow her nails into claws in mere moments. Rapid regeneration also means an increased body size. Note, due to hereditary blood disease, the subject must ingest human flesh and blood on a regular basis to maintain regeneration properties. I suspect that if the subject's regeneration is not properly balanced, that she may mutate uncontrollably. Unfit vessel for Eva. Carl Heisenberg, Kadu affinity incredibly favorable, brain functions normal, has electric organs similar to electric ray, Narcade japonica. These electric organs are connected to the subject's nervous system, can therefore pass and control electricity throughout the entire body, allowing control over magnetic fields, which is used to move metal. Splendid specimen, but still an unfit vessel for Eva. Donna Beneviento. Kadu affinity favorable, brain functions normal, although severe mental illness. Physically, she is no different from a regular human, however, she can secrete a signal producing substance which controls plants infected by the mutamycete. When humans absorb the pollen from a particular flower, she can cause them to have hallucinations. However, she is mentally underdeveloped and has divided her Kadue among her dolls in order to control them from a favorable distance, an unfit vessel for Eva.
You want tartar too? Would you like tartar as well? Yes. Here you go. Thank you. Let's get through that. Did you want both?
The hell? What is all this shit? Dear Miranda, my deepest apologies for not meeting you in person. I would love nothing more than to visit your quaint village once more. However, I am incredibly busy. Then again, I suppose for an immortal one such as yourself who no longer remember this poor half-dead medical student in the snow. I have always cherished the revelations I came to 15 years ago when I stayed in your village. I was inspired by your research to think one could transform a human by infecting them with an organism. Positively visionary. I knew that the knowledge I could achieve my own vision for the next step in human evolution. Even after 2 world wars and humanity on the cusp of another, my conviction never wavered. I realized, however, through the many nights of intellectual talks you and I shared, that your conviction differed from mine. You hoped to bring back a single dead person, while I aimed to change the world. Your experiments on the mold would not have aided me in my endeavor to achieve an exponential infection. I thought a virus would be more effective. This is why, my dear, I have to leave you. I still regret never telling you goodbye. My apologies for reminiscing. I actually have news that I thought might please you. I have found the key to evolution, the progenitor, a virus found in Africa. I plan to start a company with friends and colleagues dedicated to the virus research. I will call it Umbrella, just like the symbol in the cave that we spoke about. I am one step closer to the edge, and I'm about to break. I am one step closer to making my vision a reality. I hope you'll be able to achieve your goals someday, too. You taught me so much, and for that I will be forever in your debt. Sincerely, your lifelong student, Oswell E. Spencer.
Spencer, here. No way.
Oh, shit. Oh my, giving us ties back to Resident Evil, like the older Resident Evils. Holy shit. There's Evelyn. My Eva, it's been 100 years since I lost you to the Spanish flu. I was so powerless back then, but now I can bring you back to life from the Megamycete. I had to test your new vessel's regenerative abilities. I took her apart and revived her in the Megamycete regulator, the Giant's Chalice. All that is left is to merge her with the Megamycete. The ceremony can finally begin. After I lost you, I was so stricken with grief that I wandered into a cave to die. I so wanted to be with you again, and that's when I found the Megamycete, completely by accident. When I touched the black substance, my mind was overcome with knowledge. The Megamycete breaks down and absorbs the consciousness of those who have perished. I knew that if your consciousness was in there too, then there would be a way to bring you back. I just needed the right vessel. When I returned to the village, I implanted the villagers with mold for the Megamycete. That way I could control them, experiment on them. I have experimented on hundreds of people just to find you the perfect vessel. I even tried to increase the efficiency of finding a vessel by creating a parasite I called a Kadu. Yet none of my experiments came to fruition. There were some, like Alcina, who were close to being perfect, but most turned into lichens. I was once approached by an organization who said they would assist me. I gave them some of the mold in your DNA, but all they created was another defect to Evelyn. Then again, not a complete failure. I learned of Rose thanks to them, and I knew she would be the perfect vessel. There was some interference, but I was able to verify her suitability. Now my research is finally complete. Eva, I have waited too long to see you again. Wow.
Show me your hands! Bryce, this is Alpha. Where is Miranda right now?
Still at the ceremony site. Whatever she's doing, she's staying put.
God damn. It really is you. I'm glad
Mia.
you saved me. Why are you here?
I was caught and used in experiments.
Wait, did you say Mia? Mia Winters?
In the flesh. What's the situation up there?
Kind of war going on. Nothing we can't handle.
Don't get distracted. Stick to the mission. I'm headed to the ceremony site.
Wait! You can't leave me here. You promised, damn it! You said that you would keep us safe. We did everything that you asked. We moved over here, everything! And I didn't care. So long as we were together. So you tell me, where is my husband? Where is my daughter?
couldn't save him. But I can save Rose. Come on. It's not safe here after all.
What do you mean he's gone?
He's dead. I'm sorry, Amelia. We have to leave. We have to destroy this village.
No! You're wrong. I tried to keep this a secret, but... You don't understand how special he is.
It's so awesome.
Nani?
What's going on? Someone there? It's cold. How did I get here? God, freeze. Shit! Body.
You're so dumb.
Evelyn?
How are you here?
You're dead.
Dead? I mean, Miranda.
She tore out your heart.
I still have to save Rose.
Wrong. It wasn't Miranda. You were always dead.
What?
What are you saying? I can still.
See? Miranda didn't kill you. You mean you didn't think it was weird? No matter how much you got hurt. Remember.
That's impossible. No way.
You shouldn't even be able to walk around.
Quit messing with my head.
You shouldn't be walking.
What am I did all that.
But mold. You can't ever see your family again.
Family. No. Rose. I have to
Save my daughter.
You're already dead. Dead!
I will save Rose!
That's awesome.
Holy shit, dude.
Oh god, it's rich.
I did not see that fucking coming.
At last, he awakes.
Where am I?
My carriage. You were having a nightmare.
Duke?
Your battle with Heisenberg was a sight to see. But to think Miranda would show herself.
How long have I been out?
Not long till dawn.
Duke, I need a favor. Take me to Miranda.
I assumed as much and am already on the way. We should arrive shortly.
Thank you.
But Ethan, are you sure of this? Your body is, well, falling apart.
Yes.
Foolish of me to ask.
Speaking of foolish questions, who, what are you?
Even I can't quite answer that. We're here.
I owe you one.
Mr. Winters, I'm afraid you can't return to your old world any longer. Are you ready?
Yeah. I have to be. I gotta go.
Do you have sufficient weapons and items? Thank you for your purchase. Choose wisely. Your life may depend on it. Huh? Please, be well.
Thanks.
This is your last chance. Your journey nears its end. How about some reckless spending to finish it off? Leave this to me. Duke's Emporium is thankful for your business. To the last.
This game just took on a whole fucking crazy tone. It's not even letting me run.
Out of my way.
You guys aren't even dropping anything for me. That's awesome.
I gotta keep going.
My beautiful daughter. Come to me. Is that you? Oh, how I've missed you. What? My power is leaving me.
Rose! Miranda!
Interesting. Your body certainly isn't normal.
Give Rose to me. Now!
You see. Once I kill you properly, everything.
Get her now! Let go!
I've spent a lifetime creating this moment, and you tried to take it away from me. I take what is due. My desires will be fulfilled. Rose is
Because that's not creepy at all.
You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious. Now, please do not worry the little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her
I didn't get a chance to heal.
You are to die before you.
I didn't get a chance to heal.
You fulfilled your purpose. You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious. Now, please do not worry the little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with dreams. So now you can die peacefully.
Not let me get away!
Please, Mr. Winters. You understand the level of heritage. How can you deny it?
Why the hell?
Not you!
Yeah, right! All it's done is drive you nuts!
Such vitality. Feel the dark god's wrath!
Yeah, you like that?
Now, Mr. Winters, I think it's time to invest in my case. Yes. The hell? If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last!
Ah!
She's my goddamn daughter! You psycho!
Ah!
I can take any form.
Ah! Come on!
Time is up! Now die! They could do nothing to assuage my years of the goldenness.
Ever think the problem might be you, Miranda? You're not capable of real love.
Why do you still? Cease. You still. To ensure I never see you. My daughter!
Rose! It's all right, Rose. It's all right.
Oh no.
Ethan! Come on, Ethan. Come on, Ethan, wake up.
Chris,
Ethan, you did it. It's finished.
I think we've finished each other.
Ethan, we gotta move. Keep moving, Ethan. There's a bomb in that thing that'll blow this whole village sky high. Hey, look at me. When I hit this trigger, we can't be anywhere near it. Ah, damn it. Mia's waiting for you. She's alive, you hear me? Alive.
Mia, I'm so sorry. I love you. Keep Rose safe.
Hey. And you tell yourself. Now come on, it's not that much further.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong.
Goodbye, Rosemary. Ethan.
Rose?
Go, take us up now.
Wait! Where's Ethan?
Get moving. We have to get clear.
No! We can't go, not without my husband!
Sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is. I know he wouldn't abandon us. Tell me what's going on. Where?
Wow.
What was that?
I told you to sit down.
Where is he? Chris? What have you done?
He's gone. I tried. He stayed so we could all escape. I'm sorry.
Captain, you need to see this. BSAA didn't send soldiers. This is a bioweapon.
The hell were they thinking?
Orders, Captain.
Pick up the rest of the squad. Plot a course for BSAA Europe HQ. Someone's gotta pay.
Resident Evil 9, maybe? Give us the team if we wanted. Chris can't trust BSAA, so he's got to go to Leon. Holy fuck, man. Damn, dude. I did not see that coming at all.
Gifts we gave, but more you took, she snarled. So more in turn is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror. Her parents, though, had searched all day and at last arrived. With rampant rage, Father fought the witch, while Mother's loving touch shattered the dark enchantment. But the witch was strong, and Father yelled, "Save our daughter!" So Mother bore their child to safety as the forest was consumed. Even now, the burned forest is a grim reminder of Father's sacrifice. To this day, any child who stares too long into the charred wasteland will be haunted by nightmares of getting lost while picking berries.
Wow, so the story almost seems like an exact frickin' homage to Ethan and Mia. But fucking wow, man. Well, Rain. We can chalk another one up there into the poor, unfortunate motherfuckers that Resident Evil has fucking screwed over. We have, Steve, Pierce, and now Ethan. So, I'm sure I can skip this, but these people put in a lot of time and effort into making this game. So, they deserve to have the credits play out and be recognized. Just wow, though, man. I mean, to think that fucking we've been playing as a zombie. A very cognitive one, but still a zombie. Oh. Hide the camera while I finish eating. I'll turn it back on if there's an after credit scene, but there's got to be an after credit scene. That is just too wide open to not have an after credit scene. The way this game went, man, was so different than I thought it was going to be. Okay. I definitely now know that there's an after credit scene. And just in case nobody else caught it, I'm not going to spoil it until after the scene. All right. Looks like we're finally getting to the end of the credits. Holy shit, man. Ooh, excuse me. Alright. Let's see what this is, because I saw something in the credits that said there was going to be one, basically.
Do you think the little boy would be able to touch the moon? Nobody can touch the moon, it's too far away. Wait, what if he has a rocket ship? Okay, then you can touch it, but it'd be very, very cool.
You were being silly.
That confirms it. That is adult Rosemary. And she's wearing Ethan's jacket.
Hey, Dad. coming up. You know how it is. Talk of the goddamn devil. Duty calls. I love you.
Yeah, I found her. Where else? The day of all days. We have a situation. You're needed. Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Oh, it's just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
Stand down. I can handle it. She's just a kid.
Way to keep it together, Rose.
You're a lot like him, you know?
I know.
The father's story is now done. Okay. Challenges and extra content shop. Complete challenges listed in the challenges menu in order to receive completion points. Completion points can be exchanged for a new variety of weapons and extra content shop. New game mode, weapons, concept, art, figures, etc. The following movies have been added to the movie's bonus menu. Village of Shadows full version, creating the Village of Shadows, level design of Resident Evil Village, visual development of Resident Evil Village, and visual production. You can now get the following weapon from the extra content shop for finishing the main story, the WCX. You have completed the following challenges. Not liking this. Warlords, that sucked. Got no strings. Fish out of water, up yours. Temporary measures. Iron Giant down. Root of the matter. Great dad. Best dad ever. Crafter. Hobbyist. Patron. Thief. Repairer. Hunter. Poacher. Get the ball rolling when you gotta go. Quit hanging around. Geologist. Push comes to shove. Trick shot. Strategist. Medium rare. Fast reflexes. Leader of the pack. Strip miner. Head trauma. Slayer. Photographer. Mathematician. Cynic. Gunsmith, and Villager. When you load the completed data, some things will carry over from the completed game. Alright. Challenges. Survive the Lycan. So now I can actually see what it is I did. So, survive the Lycan attack, escaped the mine, defeated mutated Dimitrescu, defeated Donna and Angie, defeated mutated Moreau, defeated Urias in the stronghold, placed the giant chalice in the ceremony site, defeated the mutated Heisenberg, find the Megamycete in the underground ruins, Finish the story on at least casual difficulty, on standard. Craft an item. Okay, so beat the game on hardcore mode and Village of Shadows. That's something I did not do. Crafted an item. Crafted 60 items. Crafted 150 items. It was only at 91 out of 150. Master Survivalist, 300. Purchase something from the Duke. Unlock a simple lock with a lockpick. Unlock 15 simple locks with lockpicks. Combine a treasure into its complete form. Complete all combinable treasures. Damn it! I fucked that one up. I would have had it if I didn't fucking mess that one up. Hunt an animal during the story. Hunt 40 animals during the story. Solve a labyrinth. Move the ball from the Winters' bedroom into the study. I did that one. I got the trophy for it. I guess I gotta do it again. Shoot down 5 flying crows in the story. Open the door to every outhouse in the village. Break every breakable window in Dimitrescu's in a single playthrough. Shoot down a soldat hanging from the production line. Shoot down 15 valuable minerals. Push an enemy away after guarding in the story. Defeat an enemy from long range with a sniper rifle in the story. Defeat at least 3 enemies with 1 attack in the story. Set fire to Mariaka in the story. Okay. Knock a flaming arrow out of the sky with a close combat weapon in story. Take down Varkolak Alpha. Defeat Urias during the first Lycan attack when you enter the village. How the fuck am I supposed to do that? Defeat 30 Lycans during your first Lycan attack when you enter village. Defeat 20 enemies with other enemy attacks in the story. Okay. Don't know how to do that. Make Morioka drop her weapon in the story. Who is that? Marasia? Defeat Samka with a landmine in the story. Defeat a Samka. Remove all the armor from a Soldat Panzer in the story. Defeat 150 enemies with headshots, including melee weapons in the story. Defeat 300 enemies, 600 enemies, 1500, 200 with handguns, 100 with shotguns, 80 with sniper rifles, 50 with the grenade launcher, 30 with a magnum, 180 with assault rifles, 50 with grenades and pipe bombs, 50 with mines. Defeated mutated Dimitrescu in under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I am sorry, what, mate? Defeat Agni in under 1 minute and 40 seconds. Took me 7 minutes to kill Dimitrescu. 4 minutes, 8 seconds. Defeated Moreau in under a minute? Defeated Mutate Heisenberg in under 4 minutes. Use photograph mode. Lucky number 7. Have 52,911 Ali in your possession in the story. And unfortunately, these are exact amounts. You have to have these particular amounts. Countdown 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Get a total of 8.1 million lei in story. Complete the village map. Destroy, go to warding. Destroy all. I got 12 out of 20. Equip a gun with a customizable part. Equip every gun with their customizable parts in story. Create every type of item available. 7 out of 11. Collect every crafting recipe. 8 out of 11. Read every single file. I missed 2! I missed 2 fucking files. This happened to me in Resident Evil 7 too, man. There was like 32 files and I got 30 on my first playthrough. Son of a bitch. Finish the story using more or less recovery item. Finish the story within 3 hours. Finish the story without spending more than 10,000 lei. Finish the story using nothing but close combat weapons, not including the self-propelled artillery against Heisenberg, or when prompted to shoot in the final battle against Miranda. Finish the story without crafting any items. Finish the story without moving items or using stack items in the inventory. Finish the story 3 times. Get a combo of at least 30 during Mercenaries, complete Village stage in Mercenaries mode, Castle stage, Factory, Mad Village. Achieve at least an A rank on all stages in Mercenary, S rank. Deal 10,000 damage with a single attack while playing Mercenaries. Use 10 abilities. 22. View all character and weapon models. View all concept art. Obtain 200 items from the extra content. Complete 30 challenges. Complete 70. Peter, Manuel, Audrey, Mia, Ethan, Alan, Dave Anderson, Dog, Evelyn, Molded, Chris, Marguerite, Annabelle, Kevin, Meg, Jack. Resident Evil 7 character designs included some character models that were different or that didn't appear in the final version of the game, such as the dog. Chris was originally going to be a middle-aged man. Initial road trips of Ethan and Mia when they were not going to be married, but strangers. Ethan was an investigator and Mia was a missing person. Family photo of the Bakers. When this picture was planned, the old woman and young girl were separate characters. Initial rough draft of the Baker family, including a wide range of bizarre characters. Another rough draft of the Bakers has each member associated with a particular color. Jack was yellow, Marguerite was purple, Lucas was blue, and Zoe was red. Interesting. Wow. Apparently I opened them all. Alright, so we're going to take one quick little break here, and then I'm going to try and go through as much of this extra content stuff real quick, just to round this out. So, BRB. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish rounding this out and let's look at these. Rough draft of Evelyn, Chris, and Dave. The young boy in the middle was originally the youngest baker, Remy, but he was cut. Evelyn ended up taking his place. Director's comment, Jack's glasses were his key focal point for his character during early development. The image on the right is of his chainsaw fight. The left shows an early design for a mutated Jack where he looked more like himself, but this was later changed so the player could easily identify his weak points. The picture on the right is a design of Mia's colleague Alan. One idea for Marguerite's mutated form, we originally thought up a design similar to early Resident Evil games with lots of body parts coming out of her. But we ended up going for a new and refreshing design. Yes, because the end product we got in Resident Evil 7 was so refreshing. Design for Evelyn's final form enlarged by mold. When we were designing her, we had to show each department how every part of her fit together with the head in the center. There are rough drafts of Evelyn's. These are rough drafts of Evelyn's final form. Her old woman form transforms into a giant monster that absorbed her body. The main antagonists were the Baker family, so the designs of the general monsters, the mold, were some of the hardest ones. They needed to stand out without taking attention away from the Bakers. The Bakers look realistically human thanks to a technique using scanned photographs, so we wanted the molded to not outshine them. Design for the four-legged molded. The name molded comes from molded and transformed. We wanted the enemy names in Resident Evil 7 to be ones that the Baker family might have come up with themselves. Design for the fat molded. In the bottom right, you can see how the molded are made. Victims are kept in cages covered with mold, then left for 2 or 3 days to turn. The moment the molded are born. Rough draft for a type of white molded that was Axe. This was going to be a female variety that had tentacles resembling hair. Underneath the hair was a mouth-like appendage that extends out and attacks. There were also early development plans to have an antibody gun that would have been effective against the molded. That's some straight face-hugger shit going on there. Designs for Marguerite's creepy crawlies. From the top, there are adult and young man-eating insects, as well as man-eating spiders that live in doorways. These were made pallid in order to appear less repulsive. Insects found in some abandoned buildings in Louisiana were used as reference. Art from the early development of Resident Evil 7. This was the moment we decided the setting, and from there the whole game was based in the American South. The main dining room inside the house. There weren't plans for a main house and guest house at this point. This was drawn when we were coming up with ideas for the guest house and trying to work out the size and layout of the house. An underground area where the family kept a terrifying monster and they needed a large feeding hatch. Early concept of the art of the guest house. The size is close to the final version, but the light coming in made it less scary. The final version was a lot darker. Obviously. Concept art for the guest house living room. This room This became the room where the VCR was found in the release version of the game. This layout became too difficult to understand and navigate in-game, so it got a complete overhaul. Concept art for the second floor of the guest house. This was changed to the third floor with a hidden staircase added. Concept art showing Andre's corpse in the guest house basement. One initial idea was to have the player take the flashlight from Andre's body. Concept art for the scene in the guest house where Mia crawls up the stairs towards Ethan. Yeah, that straight looks like fucking Ring right there, yo. That straight up fucking looks like the fucking Ring. Or, what was that other one? Oh god, what the fuck was that other movie? Oh god, I'm fucking so drawing a blank on it. Yes, Grudge. The final design of the main house was based on on-site research of Louisiana. The outside of the Baker's home is based on plantation houses that date back to the American Civil War and the end of slavery in the U.S. A rough design of the main house. Initial plans had a windmill in the front yard, but later research revealed there are no windmills in Louisiana. The house was also surrounded by open land and not the bayou, which didn't make it feel like a horror game at all. The talisman design for Resident Evil 7, made by Jack out of cow head and legs, was based on images of mold, bacteria, and cells. Early development art for the main house. The final version did not have you enter through the front door. The layout for the second floor was also completely different. The dining room of the main house had a completely different feel from the final version. The room and lighting atmosphere changed after on-site research. One of the biggest differences was the main table. It used to be square, but we found a round table in Louisiana home which better suited the family coming together. The garage in the main house that you fight Jack in. Initial plans had the garage and boiler together in a single room. The sunlit entrance hall in the main house. This was very different from the final version, with the grandfather clock in the center and curved stairs. Until the final version, early concept art included a large open yard. The concept art for the entrance hall is much closer to the final version. The room is full of furniture and several taxidermied animals, giving it a lived-in feel. Concept art for one of the shadow puzzles in the main house. These rooms needed to be used for fights and puzzles, so we tried to make them as disconcerting as possible. Shadow puzzle in the old house. Shadow puzzle in Lucas's room. The Crow Key, Scorpion Key, and Snake Key and their doors. On the right is a design for the three-headed dog relief. Concept art for the yard. There were always plans to have a trailer in the center of the yard, trapped by the house around it. Early on during development, Zoe's room was not going to be the trailer, but a room in the main house, which Ethan saves her from. The room was going to have a sort of Louisiana folklore theme to it. The old house was once situated on solid ground but was flooded by a hurricane, which is why it was separated from the main house and barricaded up. Louisiana is a region that is often hit by major hurricanes, and we wanted to show that the Baker family were impacted by them too. You can see dolls in this concept art for the old house. We left objects associated with children all over the house because that was where Evelyn's room is. A web-covered room inside the old house. Rain's potentially least favorite concept art. The concept art for the old house shows an image of a room with a severely damaged floor. Beyond that, you can see the staircase that leads up to the child's room. Marguerite walks down the corridor with a candle to receive mold from Evelyn. The destruction in the room was caused by a hurricane. The jetty behind the old house that leads to the bayou. The crow key is kept away from the house at a remote location so no one can get to it. Concept for an overgrown greenhouse where Marguerite used to grow her plants. It was once a beautiful greenhouse but turned to ruin when Evelyn arrived. This is the location for the boss fight with Marguerite. Concept art for mutated Marguerite. Her arms and legs are warped in a terrifying way as she relentlessly pursues Ethan. Traumatic flashbacks, man. The child's room in the old house that Evelyn lives in. It's full of toys for girls like a dollhouse and dolls. These dolls are unlike the ones in the entrance to the old house and are based on the molded. Evelyn grows her family ever larger with the mold. A temporary design for a room behind the child's room where a life-size doll is seated instead of Evelyn. A final design for the room behind the child's room where you can find the body of the D series. The ceiling was made to be low to give it a claustrophobic feeling. Concept art for Lucas's section of the game. When you enter the room, there are black lights which make it feel almost like a nightclub. This was to give players a new, different sense of fear from the rest of the family. Blue and white were the key colors for Lucas. Let's Play written on the entrance of Lucas section of the game. Continuing to Lucas's area, and it expands into white rooms covered in plastic sheeting. Halfway through development, we decided to make tripwire bombs Lucas's main weapon of choice. We wanted to make the design for Lucas' area different from a traditional haunted house. His avant-garde interests really stand out. It was difficult to get the right balance between crazy and comical. Concept art for the four-legged molded first appear in Lucas's section. More concept for Lucas's area. A strange puzzle in Lucas's section where various items are laid out but the room's painted white. This created a very unique space in the game. You can see a number of strange puzzles scattered about Lucas's section in this piece. They're based not just on Lucas's twisted interests, but on the concepts of family and life and death. Such as a birthday cake being a symbol for life, while a picture of a hanging corpse and grave are connected to death. The goddess stomach symbolizes life, but is also accompanied by pain. The mold infection does not have a strong grip on Lucas. As a result, he is filled with the most hopelessness, joy, and desire for destruction. Concept art for a cut boat fight when Mia and Ethan escaped the house. The idea was the fight with Jack would take place in the muddy waters. Concept art for the shipwreck, a destroyed tanker which Evelyn split in two with her powers. Louisiana used to have a thriving gas industry with large numbers of tankers. Mia and her colleague Alan get passage on the tanker from Europe to the US, pretending to be Evelyn's parents. The aim of the shipwreck at the end game was to give the player a renewed sense of fear, a change of pace from the excitement of the fights and puzzles in the Baker house. Concept art for Ethan being trapped in mold by Evelyn after on the shipwreck. Concept art for the mine. Just in front of Lucas's research lab is a salt mine, which is why the cave walls are white. Concept art for Evelyn creating mutamysite. Concept design for Ethan from early on in Village's development. He had a backpack for his inventory instead of a suitcase. Alright. Concept art of Mia reading the picture book. In our early drafts, as she was still recovering from the incidents during Resident Evil 7 and was in a wheelchair. Early plans had a mysterious masked person that saves Ethan. This was going to be Ada Wong investigating the village, but this was cut due to a number of conflicting scenarios. Yeah, so originally they planned on bringing Ada into here. That's actually kind of interesting. A rough draft of an early design for Dimitrescu. Her concept was a bewitching vampire with giant garden clippers. Early development concept for the Beneviento family based around the idea of a ghost family. Their house was always going to be a single building in front of a giant waterfall. The family were rake-thin parents and children wearing strange masks. There's also a picture of the wife who threw herself into the waterfall due to a tragic incident in the past. Damn. Rough draft of the monster Moreau. He was always going to be a disgusting merman, and although his design didn't change that much, the parasite on his back was originally going to be a girl he once had feelings for. You can also see the flooded village setting. An early rough draft of the Wolfman. There was going to be a scene where the young men of the village drank from a chalice in turn, but this was eventually cut. An early draft of Heisenberg's family. The biggest difference was that Heisenberg was going to be a twin and his mother was a subject for brain experiments. Heisenberg's father was going to be the leader of the village, and the boss fight with the mechanical mutation was originally going to be with him. Early development rough draft of the leader of the village's religion. Before we came up with Miranda, he was going to transform into a dragon-like monster, but this idea was later used for Dimitrescu's boss fight. Early development concept art for the Duke, the Merchant. From the very beginning to the final game, he was always going to be a large character. The Duke is a merchant and a foodie and was going to be the fifth lord in early drafts. In Resident Evil 7, we utilized a photo scanning technique for the character designs, but in Village we decided to be more creative and tried character designs that didn't look like regular humans. The merchant's carriage. Duke travels with his horse and carriage all over the village. It's his home, business, and means of transport. Symbol of the merchant is a lantern decorated with goat bones. The idea was that you would know it was a safe location even from a distance. We have a number of designs, but decided a round silhouette would be more impactful. A rough design for the remains left by enemies we need to defeat them. The overall balance needed to be achieved in the thumbnail image. The remains for Dimitrescu and Varkolak are different from the final version, which has a more ornament feel. Typewriter for Village was designed to be distinguishable from previous games like RE2 and RE3. The costumes and objects are based on 1916's designs, including the typewriter. Even from early development, the same gameplay as Resident Evil 7 was used, which meant using item boxes. However, as development went on, we decided to change the game to be more like Resident Evil 4 and removed the item boxes. Designed for the labyrinth based on Castle Dimitrescu. The labyrinths were designed after something you'd see at the end of the 19th century and were originally going to be tributes to the Four Lords. I kind of want that typewriter. The labyrinth on the left is Beneviento's and was based on Donna's area. The path passes through a graveyard and over a waterfall via suspension bridges. The labyrinth on the right is based on Morio's reservoir, with windmills in the center. There was also a design of the fishing village with boats when it wasn't flooded. Heisenberg's labyrinth is based on his factory. It uses train tracks between a house and the factory, moving into the coal mines. Early development concept art. Initial ideas had the story switching between the village in modern day and the past set in medieval times. Two early designs for altars in the church that display the castle gate reliefs. An early design for an altar in the village that displays the castle gate relief. An early design for safe rooms had a camera as a save point instead of a typewriter. Storyboard for Lycan's first appearance. We wanted them to have a wild and animalistic image, unlike the zombies and ganados of previous games. Storyboard for Ethan's trial with all the lords. At this point in development, it was still the Hag, followed by the Four Lords. Early plot point was to have Ada, disguising herself with a mask, help Ethan escape from his trial. This storyboard shows the end of the trial scene as well as Miranda's experiments. Miranda was initially going to be a researcher investigating the village's strange creatures. Concept art for an event that happened in the village before Ethan arrived. The surviving villagers had locked the gate because of the number of people killed by the Lycans, sealing it with the winged key. Castle Dimitrescu concept art. You can see Dimitrescu casually drinking blood as if it was wine. In the bottom right corner, there's a corpse hanging upside down, dripping into a wine glass. Concept art of the flying enemies in the courtyard of Castle Dimitrescu. Early concept of Castle Dimitrescu that was cut from the final version, but this was where Ethan was going to fight Dimitrescu. Concept art for the gate leading up to the Lycan's lair. We came up with a few designs for the gate that leads to the stronghold. Early concept art for the birth of lichens. The victim is slowly encased in mold and then emerges transformed. Moreau concept art where he watches old romance movies and falls into melancholy. He also loves eating cheese. Concept art for one of Donna's dolls. It has a hidden pair of scissors that it uses to attack Ethan. Oh god, it's so creepy. No porcelain dolls will ever be in my house, ever. Concept art for one of Donna's dolls that turns into a spider-like monster. Ugh. We had a number of ideas for Donna's dolls, including one with knives coming out of its back and a few wielding weapons in their hands. Cut design for a large lichen who commands 2-chain Wargalak. Good, I agree. I hate porcelain dolls. Creepy. Various lichen weapons, including a spiked hammer, torched, and sling. Various lichen weapons, including a hunting knife and scabbard, sledgehammer, and more torches. Lichen equipped with claw-like weapons, which are made from a variety of blades found throughout the village. Designs for armor used to protect the lower half of the body. Concept art for a temple close to Heisenberg's factory. This was initially going to be the spot where Miranda sat on her throne and conducted the ceremony. Miranda's throne. There was going to be a scene where Miranda sat here holding Rose during the ceremony. Concept for Heisenberg's factory where Ethan is chased by the Soldat series. If the reactors in their chest are destroyed, then the parasite inside will attempt to escape. Designs for various Soldat reactors, but the final design was a grotesque mechanical heart. Interesting. Concept art of a day in the life of Heisenberg. Night after night, his modified henchmen dig up corpses from the graveyard to be used in his metal army. Boss fight with mutated Heisenberg where he turns into his final form. It's his final form, bruh! It's not even his final form! Concept art for Chris is part of the game. Although we were unable to explore these characters in depth, the details behind Chris's team, the Hound Wolf Squad, have been pinned down. Storyboard for when the player takes control of Chris to the point where he infiltrates the village. One plan was to focus on each member of the Hound Wolf Squad. Storyboard of Chris fighting alongside the Hound Wolf Squad inside the village. Storyboard of the BSAA arriving at the village as well as saving Mia. Rough design for mutated Miranda where she was going to transform into a molded creature. The final design looks more like Miranda, which worked better for the plot. Storyboard for the end game with Ethan's death and Chris's decision, creating a sense of uncertainty as a helicopter flies over the village. Long ago, a child was born to a family. The family lived in peace for a while. One day, sickness fell on the village, and one by one, the people began to die. The wife, too, succumbed to the illness. There were more graves than survivors. It wasn't long before the daughter got sick, but Miranda used the Kadu to create a miracle, and she became a saint. Then the villagers infected with the parasite Kadu turned into lichens. Storyboard for the end credits. Okay. A powerful short-barreled assault rifle. Once obtained, pick it up from the merchant in-game. Karambit knife. USMAI. Chris's favorite semi-automatic pistol. Once obtained. Chris's favorite assault rifle. Finish the main story in at least hardcore difficulty to unlock the hand cannon PZ for purchase. Rocket pistol. Finish the game on Village of Shadows difficulty to unlock the rocket pistol for purchase. Complete all stages with at least a double S rank in Mercenaries to unlock the LZ Answerer for purchase. Infinite ammo for the Lemmy. Infinite ammo for the M1911. M191 handgun must be fully upgraded and fully customized to unlock this item for purchase. VZ61 Custom. Infinite ammo for the shotgun. F2 rifle. Infinite ammo for the grenade launcher. Story mode only. Turn on and off in game settings. Infinite ammo for the Wolfsbane. Stake Magnum can be fully upgraded and fully customized to unlock this for purchase. Where the hell did you get that? Infinite WCX assault rifle must be fully upgraded and fully customized to unlock this. Wait, didn't we just... Are you kidding? You gotta frickin' purchase it and then upgrade it. Holy shit, dude. There's a lot of fucking shit here. Still doesn't let you see Ethan's face. You bastards. That has gotta be freaking Markiplier's favorite figure to view. He's gotta be looking at that every day. Okay, well, it looks like there's some other concept art we can stand here. Doll collector. Woohoo! There are so many things here. Holy shit, man. Oh. Oh, only another 120. Concept art for the winners is the original idea was to have Mia in a wheelchair due to the events of the previous game. Concept art for a grown-up version of Rosemary Winter. She's wearing Ethan's jacket, which he wrapped her in when she was a baby. We wanted to create the impression of Evelyn's influence, so we included green in her key colors. There was also an idea that Rose would fight some of Ethan's enemies. Few designs for Chris Redfield. Initial drafts of the story had him visit the Winters dressed in civilian clothes. Hound Wolf Squad call him Alpha. The Mia that Chris shot was actually Miranda in disguise. When he loses Rose to her, he calls on his task force, the Hound Wolves, for backup. This is the first time Chris's elite squad makes an appearance in the Resident Evil universe. They were created to hunt the Lycans as such and were named the Hound Wolf Squad. From left to right, Umber Eyes, a veteran sniper, K9, a young dog handler, Lobo, machine gunner, Night Howl Communications, and Tundra, former undercover agent for the DEA. Character designs for the villagers that seek refuge in Louisa's house. From left to right, Leonardo, Elena's father, Elena, Louisa, Lillian. The design for the villagers was based on a mixture of gothic and modern imagery. Outfits and hair from the 1960s were also used as inspiration. Character designs for the other villagers Ethan meets at Louisa's house. From left to right, Sebastian, Anton, Roxanne, and the Hag. Design for the merchant, the Duke. He was originally going to make his entrance with a runaway carriage and his horses running wild, but that was axed during development. These parasites are key to the story of village and are used in the design for the village symbol. Combined with 4 wings, each represents the 4 lords. Golden ring symbolizes the sun, space, as well as eternity. This suggests that the sun, soul, and everything that encompasses them do not have an end. The parasite in the center is an ominous image which links the whole story back to Rose. The remains left when enemies are defeated were designed to look like ornaments. When the creatures perish, their cells turn into crystal. The crest of the four lords of the village. The Demetress crest is a flower with two swords, a symbol of feminine power. You can also see a cross in the center, which is associated with vampires. The Beneviento crest is a moon and sun, symbols of fantasy and reality, as well as the dark of Donna and the bright white of Angie. Morio's is a mermaid, although we wanted to create a very stark difference between the beautiful fish lady and the creepy fishman creature. Heisenberg's crest is a horse and a horseshoe, implying he's a strong, sturdy man. The horse was also based on the chess piece. The initial designs had each crest with their own book. In the center of the four crests is a symbol of crow feathers that look a lot like umbrella. The basic design for the lichens, the concept behind them was primitive zombies, which was used to create a wild wolfman-looking creature. We had a number of designs for the lichens, and most variety than any enemy in the series so far. Ferocious creature derived from a lichen, you can no longer see where its human hair ends and its animal fur begins. The fur on its human body has also turned white. Arias is the Lycan's boss. He used to be the leader of the village, now he's just a shadow of his former self. Arias Stranger is his older brother. Similar to the villagers, her hair and clothes are based on 1960s new look fashion. Her design is based on the Japanese yokai Hasakusami literature 8-foot lady. Demetress was also designed to be a vampire. She has 3 black roses close to her heart, which each represent her 3 daughters. From left to right, Bella, Cassandra, and Danielle. They have a flower tattoo on their foreheads. The female enemies from the castle dungeons, Demetress drains men of their blood and turn women into creatures to be her slaves. In fact, it might be hard to see in-game, but all the enemies in the castle are female slaves. The flying enemies that appear in the castle roof, just like the Morioka, these two were once women who were turned into slaves. They used their long tongues to drink blood. Dracula, a motif for Demetress, also means child of dragons, so we went for a dragon vampire design. We used her key colors of white, red, and black combined with key elements found in traditional Resident Evil monster designs. Her scales are actually her cells clumping together. Each of the boss transformations is a larger version of themselves, which for Alicina meant an unusually massive vampire with gigantic wings. We also designed the way her human body is stored in her back. Also, Demetress in large cells grow a hair-like tendrils thanks to the parasite's influence. The puppeteer Donna and her doll Angie. Donna is dressed in black mourning clothes while Angie is dressed in a white wedding dress with flowers, each representing death and life. Angie's face is based on the same sun and moon motif of the Beneviento crest. Donna's face is also based on the same crest symbol, with the scarred part of her face caused by the parasite. Her base concept is that she's a ghost. Interesting. The Beneviento family dolls, which Donna made. Baby is a 2 to 3 minute old girl who's 5'10" doll and 7'7" long. She was created from the doll of Mia. Her umbilical cord drags behind her as she crawls, and she calls Ethan Dada. Oh god, I'm getting traumatic flashbacks. Oh man. She can open her left eye with effort and will put anything into her mouth if she finds what she's looking for, she'll instantly eat it. She dribbles a lot and has no teeth, but her hands and feet look like a real baby's. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, my God, the PTSD, man. Oh, I need to get away from that picture. Moreau made a crown for himself out of the bones of the villagers. He's also the most corroded by the parasite than any other lord. The concept behind his design is that he's half fish, half man, and we used a number of creepy sea creature parts while also conveying a very Resident Evil series style monster. But unlike most other transformed creatures in the series, he still understands and can speak human speech, a rare monster that can communicate. His brain has swollen into his back, which has also sprouted eyeballs. His design was also based on the Japanese river yokai Kappa. Moro's mutated form looks a lot more like an aquatic creature. As each of the boss fights are giant versions of themselves, Moro is a massive mer creature covered with frog spawn looking eyes. He uses his large arms and legs as well as his giant fish-like body to swim. This piece was used to visualize Moro's acid vomit attack as well as his humanoid body inside the mouth of his monstrous body. We tried to convey his creepy aquatic nature in each movement and each attack. Heisenberg's main concept is based on Frankenstein. We wanted to create a cool gray-haired character who was a little rough around the edges. He smokes his favorite Cuban cigars. We went for a look that was the opposite of his human form, a giant mechanical monster. The design based on the idea that he used scraps left scattered around the factory. He owns weapons from tanks and planes and has mountains of scrap for his mass-produced experiments. The original design was based on the splendid royal moth caterpillar. We wanted him to look like he moved on threads and be faster than any other boss monster. We called these enemies drillmen for a long time during development because one arm was replaced with a drill. The idea for these enemies is that they have a reactor inside their chest with a parasite inside that acts like an internal combustion engine. The goggles are units that Heisenberg uses to control them. Oh god, these guys. We consciously created the enemies in the factory to be different so they didn't just terrify players but also created a strong sense of anticipation. The design was based on Western medieval armors and helmets. We were really attached to the name Jet Drill during development. They used jets on their backs and their heads that looked like fighter planes. This design was similar to the horseshoe crab. We designed to the front and back with different amounts of detail so the back would be particularly shocking. The propeller on his head is made from 3 chainsaw blades. He chopped his own arms off when they got in the way of the spinning blades. There was one plan to have the stern be Heisenberg's real father, and during development he was called Propeller Man. Da-da-da-da! The parasite manifested differently in this creature compared to most lichens. We created him as a guard for the Mega Mycite. His final version wields a giant mace rather than a hammer. Arias is his younger brother. Mother Miranda's design is based on the concept of a crow queen. She's a religious leader who is after Rose and has the ability to mimic anyone or anything. The wings on her back are made from mold, so she has complete control over them. Her dress is old and worn, showing that she has ruled the village for a very long time. As the root of evil in this game, you can see her likeness in the talisman used for village. You can also see the crest of the 4 lords in her stole, further evidence of her rule. Alright, we're gonna take one last break here because I wasn't expecting to have so many freaking concept art images here, so this will be the last break and then we'll finish up these concept arts and then I'll probably wrap it up for the day. Thank you guys for being patient. Be right back. I hadn't planned on streaming any more tonight, Mama Strife. Just get through this and then call it good. The mold inside her body has overflowed and her mouth and skin are starting to crack. Her golden halo is now larger and more solid and is growing out of her spine. She has lived for a very long time and her age is finally showing. We didn't want the fight with Miranda to be like an event, but a challenging boss fight, so we went with a design where her human facade is still intact. Miranda uses the network of mold to access the genetic makeup of various living creatures that are stored in the Mega Mycite. She uses these to transform during battle. Miranda's giant spider-looking form. The concept for the picture book was based on pop-up books and shigiri, Japanese torn paper pictures. The key colors for Village are antique gold, metallic black, and snow white. All of these were used in the picture book. The concept art for the family in the picture book were, of course, based on Ethan, Mia, and Rose. The girl's hair color matches grown-up Rose's hair in the final version. Concept art for the Bat-Lord in the picture book. The white of its fur was based on Dimitrescu, and the 3 black bats are based on her daughters. The vampire bat imagery is a hint that this is a connection to Dracula. The designs for the Fish King and Darkweaver are based on Moreau and Beneviento, respectively. Concept art for the Iron Steed Witch are, of course, based on Heisenberg and Miranda. The scene in the book where the girl is taken under a full moon is the same as the game's story. Hold on. I love work-related phone calls. Sorry about that, guys. Okay. Concept art for when the girl and her mother go into the forest in the picture book. Concept art for when the girl gets lost in the forest in the picture book. Concept art for when the father and mother go into the forest to save their daughter. Concept art for the father fighting the witch and the mother escaping with their daughter. Concept art for the prologue of Village where Mia is reading the picture book to Rose. Concept art for the prologue of Village where Chris shoots Mia and takes Rose. Concept art for the prologue of Village where Chris takes Rose. This was created and used as key visualization for the team during development so they could get an idea of Ethan's perspective on events. The development of Village was a lot of trial and error, but it was always going to be a survival horror game. This was how the Lycans were created. View of the mountains towering over the village below. This was drawn on the first day of development. We wanted to create an impact different from the horror being trapped in a house like in Resident Evil 7. We used the tall, overbearing mountains to give this game an isolated, haunted village feel. This concept art of a cabin was created to demonstrate to the entire team the level of rendering quality we were going for in this game. A large windmill looms over a graveyard. The gate connecting the village to the castle of Dimitrescu. The relief on the gate shows a young maiden saving the village from a terrible demon long ago. Concept art for the fields leading up to Louisa's house. The scarecrow is nothing special, but there are a number of goat bone constructs erected to ward off evil. The surviving villagers who had escaped the Lycan attack huddled together. The Lycans are savage wild beasts, but we also wanted to convey that they are pack creatures. Getting the right balance of intelligence and nature in this image, as well as in the game, was one of the biggest challenges. The concept art for Ethan's trial. Miranda and the Lords began to use this space for trials in the past to pass judgment on heretics. From left to right, Dimitrescu, Donna, Miranda, Moreau, and Heisenberg. Their positions and mannerisms reflect their status and personalities. Concept art for the vineyard outside Castle Dimitrescu, which Dimitrescu uses to make her wine. You can see her daughters dragging a victim from the village into the castle. The four angel statues. Castle Dimitrescu is creepy, but also decorated with alluring imagery such as these statues. Concept art for Dimitrescu's dressing room. After all her clothes are either white or red. The tasting room under the castle where Dimitrescu's victims are drained of their blood, which she used to make her wine. Dimitrescu looking around in her wine cellar as Ethan crawls through the tunnels under the castle. A room filled with treasures and works of art. This was where the labyrinth was originally going to be created. Or located. On the left is one of the statues with the angel mask. The right is a concept art for the iron insignia key, the same insignia on a door. The room where the four statues, the lady, the lord, the servant, and the farmer, stand. The lord bleeds the passant villagers dry of their crops, which he passes to the servant, who presents the final product to her lady. This scene ended up being the phone call between Dimitrescu and Miranda. We came up with a number of designs for keys with a balance of Dimitrescu's crest within a feminine design. The final version was selected for its unique silhouette. The door was designed to match the pattern on Dimitrescu's key. The door with the clearest crest and the most attractive door frame was selected as the final design. Dimitrescu uses her long, sharp claw-like nails to create havoc in the dungeons. Concept art for fighting enemies on the rooftops of the castle. The final tower of the castle where Ethan fights Dimitrescu. The area was initially going to be used as a storeroom for period weaponry. The knife used against Demetress, which caused her to transform into the giant creature. The story behind this dagger is that it was once used by a man long ago to try and kill Demetress. She sealed it away in the tower with his corpse because it was still a threat to her. The blade with the most unique shape with the flowers was chosen for the final design. The entire area around House Beneviento, where Donna and her dolls live, is covered in a thick fog. We were initially thinking of a scene where Ethan is chased by enemies across this rope bridge spanning the valley back to the village. Concept art for the garden leading up to House Beneviento. Large flower bed with giant gravestone in the center. Donna surrounded it with smaller graves and her dolls nestled between them. Donna uses the yellow flowers to make people hallucinate and see visions. The look and layout of the house hasn't changed much since its concept was created during early development. We took a lot of care into creating a high-quality scene. During early development, however, this was going to be a doctor's house and not a doll house. Donna was going to be the village's doctor, and Angie the doll never existed. We also considered giving Donna an incredibly dark past and have her family throw themselves off the waterfall. The room in Beneviento's basement where the doll of Mia was being made. The overall impression of the room hasn't changed, but Angie's design did. The doll of Mia was always intended to be a puzzle similar to the Chinese puzzle box. As this was initially going to be a doctor's house, the doll was originally going to be a corpse that looked like Mia. Concept art for a scene where Ethan runs into Moreau searching for corpses for his experiments. How Ethan would get from the windmill into the underground was decided very early on. We wanted to give this a repugnant location, so we gave the view and layout of the area a very distinguishing atmosphere to match Moreau. A concept art where Ethan meets Moreau. You can see Heisenberg's factory far in the distance. The initial thought was that this would be a European fishing village, but this proved too difficult, so we decided to go with a generic flooded village instead. The crank used to turn the windmills is decorated with the legendary sea creature, the Kraken. We had the idea of water draining from a giant sluice gate, which meant we needed to design a flooded and unflooded area to go with it. The plan during the early development was that Ethan would need to cross this sluice gate to reach the factory after collecting all the crests. Concept for the scene where Ethan meets the hag. This is also where he gets the winged key. Statues of 4 kings with a chalice in the center. These founders of the village once protected the chalice. The giant's chalice placed on the dais. The design for the winged key is closely connected to the village crest. To the right is the route to Beneviento's house, and through the gate is the path to the ruins with the 4 king statues. A crossroad with a circular dais in the center signals the game opening up. We had this design left over from Resident Evil 7 with only a minor change to the emblem's logo. The hydration pack equipped on the back gives them a unique design. BSAA are now a rotten and ruined organization who are using soldiers created with new technologies. This was once a sawmill that the villagers used, but now it's overrun with lichens who have turned it into their lair. Concept art for the lichens' lair. Lichens have different intelligence and power compared to zombies, ganados, and Magini. We wanted to create a setting that reflected this. Deep in the lichens' lair, even early on, we wanted to fight in a tall, open space. Concept art for the bridge to Heisenberg's factory was initially going to be just the side of the path leading to the altar ruins. Sturm chasing Ethan down a narrow corridor, destroying everything in its way. The concept art for Heisenberg kicking Ethan down into the hole in the giant cavern under the factory. A casting machine that uses molds to create objects made out of cast iron. This concept for a puzzle was around since early development as a way to create a key. This room was once only used for casting iron, but Heisenberg ended up utilizing it for his twisted experiments. This room links to the hidden engine room. An engine room powered by giant pistons. A flight inside the grinder shaft. These were early designs for Soldart Jet. We originally imagined a space where they could fly freely about. We went with a design that had a powerful looking horse just like the one on Heisenberg's crest. Concept art for the flow of events leading up to the battle with Heisenberg. We pictured Ethan falling into a pit around dusk and returning from it to a dark, stormy night sky. The general layout of events didn't change much from early development. Concept art for the boss fight with Heisenberg. Even early on in its development, this battle was going to commence with a self-propelled artillery. The only difference is that in the final version, Heisenberg is not defeated using falling transmission towers. We figured that Heisenberg's yard would be full of scrap and vehicles, which he uses during the boss fight. A piece of concept featuring Chris Redfield. It was intended to depict a three-way battle between Chris, the BSAA, and the Lycans. Mold slowly consumed the village under a blood-red moon as the ceremony reaches its climax. As Miranda starts the ceremony, plant-looking tendrils of mold begin to overrun the Lycans and the village is thrown into chaos. Hi, Chibbles! Chris finds this giant megamycete in some ruins. It's a giant clump of parasites which have grouped together into a disturbing shape. It is revealed that everything started here, with this being the center of the mold network. It has been spreading its roots for hundreds of years before Miranda found it and used its power to make herself a powerful leader. When Chris escapes the ruins, he finds Miranda's laboratory where the real Mia is also being held. The concept behind this piece was Ethan's last stand. Here, Miranda, transformed into the Hag, would use Rose in the ceremony. The mold tendrils have grown over the four king statues and look almost like wings. Concept art for Ethan's fight with Miranda on a mold-covered ceremony site. We wanted to think about how the enemies in the village would look from a first-person perspective. Key visualizations like these were essential for picturing the gameplay. Ethan fights Miranda in her spider form. Ethan fights Miranda in her flying form. Concept art for Ethan's finale where he and Chris escape the village. However, Miranda, now absorbed into the giant parasite, goes berserk to stop Rose from escaping. She looks like the village symbol with the parasite and feathers. Rose has grown up and reading the picture book her parents used to read her when she was young. She has a bouquet of flowers for Ethan's grave. Chris gave her Ethan's jacket and ring. She goes to Ethan's grave after watching a mother and child on the bus. As she talks to her dad at his grave, she spots a man who looks like a security guard. From left to right, the handguns Lemmy, V61 Custom, and Pipe Bomb. The V61 Custom at the bottom is fully customized. The pistol at the top is the M1851 Wolfsbane with a wolf engraving, which can fire 50.5 Magnum bullets. Under that is the M1897 shotgun with an engraving of an eagle. The GM79 grenade launcher is at the bottom, the stock engraved with a horse. The F2 rifle is up top and the Singe 12 is under it. Both are fully equipped with their customizations. The sniper rifle is a French bolt-action rifle. M1911 is on the left and the fully customized version is on the right. Heisenberg's homemade weapon, a self-propelled artillery equipped with a recoilless gun. It also has a large engine with a supercharger. We ended up making the treads much larger in-game than what we originally had intended. Woo! And I got another trophy. Look at that. Alright. So, what to get? Let's do the karambit knife. Let's get infinite ammo for the Lemmy. And do that. Chris's favorite semi-automatic pistol. And infinite ammo for the shotty. And I have enough points to do one more. Sweet. Alright. So, how are we doing now? 48% done. I'm right on par with Resident Evil 7. That's not too horrible. I didn't do too bad. 48% in one go. Not horrible. Nope. So I'll probably figure this out on my own, but it did say some stuff will carry over from if you pick up your save file from there, so I'm going to look into that. The only question I don't know is whether or not this will actually start my time over, or if it's going to keep continuing the time, so. But yeah, we are officially done with Resident Evil 8. Holy crap, that was so much more intense than I realized, and there was so much. That revelation at the end I did not see coming. That was just so left. I didn't see that one. That was so left field. It kind of hurts. It kind of hurts how quickly it's just like, wow, my brain just like struggling to wrap itself around that piece of information was just holy shit. So alright, thank you guys for sticking around and hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm sorry this took too long. I'm willing, like, half of this stream was gameplay, the other half of it was breaks and looking at concept art and stuff. So, but yeah, thank you guys for sticking around and showing support. It's always appreciated. Yeah, I'm hoping that things will continue to get better. My stream schedule is going to be slightly altered next week, and I don't want to go into too much detail over it right now. The short version is tomorrow is the 23rd of July 2021, and I will not be working tomorrow. I was given the day off since I worked Tuesday night, and next week I will be working Monday and Tuesday night, so I will only have Wednesday and Thursday to do streams next week, potentially covering for I'm covering for my coworker who is on his way out of town to deal with the passing of his son. So I'm not going to be to go into details on that one. Just like that's what's going on. So I don't work tomorrow, and then there will be no stream on Tuesday. We'll try and be back on Wednesday and Thursday for... I'm not 100% sure yet, just because of how conflicting that schedule is. I may just try and do like Wild Arms or something. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, no stream next Tuesday, only Wednesday and Thursday. So till then, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Take care, sleep well, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and remember the golden rule of gaming. Which, before I get into the golden rule of gaming, I'm curious to see what you guys think. I already know one of you will be totally for this, but we have an idea for the next Team SNES outing. And I know Chibbles, you'll absolutely adore this one idea because you can be on the outside watching. The next Team SNES outing we're talking about is potentially Palace of the Dead, Final Fantasy XIV. So maybe do that in segments, but the possible Sev, Nanashi, Aaron, and myself could tackle as much of Pot D as possible. We technically did finish, Chibi, when you sacrificed us. You sacrificed us with the to the Chimera and got yourself the Nightmare mount, the Nightmare Pegasus mount. Yeah, we were supposed to, but we never seem to get together anymore. So, anyway, we'll figure something out. Anyway, the Team SNES outing will be a streamed event, so you guys can kind of follow along and watch us either succeed or fail. While if Chibi and everyone decide to try again, that one particularly won't be streamed. So, anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and remember the golden rule of gaming, at least my golden rule of gaming. If you're gaming right now, and I know you probably are, remember to game hard or go home. And if you're already at home, make sure to clean up when you're done. Because if you're not, I'm sending the baby after you. The baby that we encountered in House Beneviento in Resident Evil 8. I will send the baby after you. You will not like it. I don't like it. So therefore you will not. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night, and I may do a stream tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure yet, but keep an eye out. Till then, bye-bye.